welcome to Aren't You Tired Of? The podcast where we talk about all the things we're tired of. Mm-hmm. And have you noticed our list? We got a long list. We're not running out of topics.
No,
I think it's getting longer.
I think the topics are coming. Like, I'll text you at any point in time and say, I got one.
Got one. And I have a list so long. But the topic today is, aren't you tired of having a boring social life? And listeners, so you know, when we say boring social life, even just the word social life, we mean time with friends.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to talk about today with my esteemed co-host, Mark Benton.
Yes, I'm Mark, and you are?
Patti Johnson.
Yes.
And we are diving into this topic because we know, our whole podcast is work and life. Mm-hmm. We know we spend a lot of time working, doing all those things, even whether it's in business or it's just life, you're busy, you're doing all this stuff. Time with friends. Mm-hmm. It's important. Yeah. How do you figure out how to do it so it's getting you what you want? So I'm curious, Mark, we're coming into 4th of July. That's a big one.
Yeah.
But the big ones. Okay?
Yeah.
Super Bowl or New Year's Eve is the biggest of them all.
New Year's Eve, and then you get the Super Bowl.
My question is, have you ever had fun on New Year's Eve? And do you think about it a little differently now than when you were 25?
Yeah. When I was 25, we were definitely trying to figure out where the party was. We were going to be out, as my parents used to say, out in them streets. That's what we were going to be. And but for a long time now, we were just at home on New Year's Eve. We don't like to get out, but we have so much fun. We have little rituals and things we do we can talk about, but New Year's Eve is, kind of at home, kind of quiet. It's low key.
It's low key.
Yeah.
You just stay up till midnight?
I have stayed up until midnight on many occasions.
Now that is the one, if you don't stay up till midnight, we can shame. I can I feel like, I feel like that's something I've always needed to do. But I do think I
only think there's one time that I didn't.
Okay, all right. You had that look like, about 9:30.
I'll see you next year.
Happy New Year.
I'll see you next year.
I'm out. Okay. So, yes, I think for us too, I've never, at some point as an adult, pretty early on, I realized those New Year's Eve parties, they're not my thing. Now, we always, a lot of times what we'll do, we might with friends go out for a nice dinner.
Yeah. I like that.
We might do something. Even when the kids were little, we'd make them okay, let's put on some khaki pants.
Yes.
And we'll go for a nice dinner.
Yeah. I like that.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. As we get into this, we're not party planners, but we know a few things.
About a few things.
Yeah, that's right. And so I think when you talk about social life and kind of how you get it done, I like that idea. Like maybe what we'll do is this coming New Year's Eve, we'll just go to a nice little dinner and be home early and hang in.
Yeah, and I
like
think
that.
I think the key thing that we're kind of saying, listeners, what is it that you want out of your social life? What sounds fun for you, and are you doing it?
Yeah.
That's the other thing, because a lot of times what we picture as fun.
Yeah.
Well, life is overtaking us, and we are just tired. We had a busy week.
That's right.
All the stuff. And but I think you got to know what you want to do. And I think, I can remember a Super Bowl party.
Yeah.
And I won't name any names. It was a few years ago, but one of the women there was her team was playing. Okay. And she was all in and was getting frustrated.
Yeah.
There's probably 15, 20 people there, frustrated that people were talking and telling everybody to hold it down.
Oh.
And, ended up, I think maybe left a little early because frustrated. But I think
was her team winning?
I think they ended up winning.
Oh,
but it's almost like, you got to know what is it you want from, that's a silly example, but if you're all locked in on the game,
her expectations weren't right.
Don't go to the Super Bowl party. But, just likewise, if you kind of I like a quiet dinner with friends.
Yes.
Don't say, well, then I'm going to start going to
medieval times.
Oh, you're never going to go to medieval times.
You know why I thought
it's
about
all
it?
dusty, and then you're coughing, and you don't want to go there.
Well,
don't.
You know what? You know what? I think maybe we have an episode. Aren't you tired of medieval times?
Well, I'm just giving you a tip.
Yeah.
If you've been wanting to like ask some friends to go to something, and you're
Ask
like,
them to medieval times.
No, you don't. You don't want to say, "Hey, we've been meaning to get together.
Uh-huh.
How about medieval times?" That you're probably not going to pour medieval times. I know the kids used to love it.
Kids
but
love it. Kids
they
love
do.
it, and adults love it too.
Do they?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm just going to say this real quick when it comes to social life. I think that there is there are persons out there that love to go out and go do different things, and they're dressing for it.
Okay.
So
well,
I saw knights and
the whole thing.
women and the queens and the dukes and the
you got to know. You got to know who
lords
you're
and
dealing
ladies,
with.
and
they
were down for it.
Yeah, you might scare some people, but other people might be so into it.
Maybe.
So I think what we're trying to do is to say, how do you figure out what sounds fun to you? And I think to your point about medieval times, if you're going to plan something, make sure you're with your people. Like if you are, if you love medieval times, go do that.
Yes.
If you're somebody like, we're kind of a game family. Well, we have some other friends who don't make me do games.
Yeah.
Great. Well, then don't plan game night with them, right? Okay.
Right.
So you got to kind of know.
Set your vision.
Yes.
Know what you want to do, what you want out 100%. Of the social life.
Because we talked about it on a prior episode, I think we talked on graduation, how, when you were in, especially college, you didn't have to plan anything. You just rolled down the hall. Hey, who wants to go? We used to go to this place.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I should have looked up. It was a Mexican food place. And, in college, and they would get like a pitcher of margaritas for probably 10 of us.
Yep.
And they had, which nobody does this anymore, like free chips and queso.
Yes.
And we would stay there for, 3-4 hours.
A long time.
And you didn't have
to do the same.
Did you plan it ahead of time?
No. It was
Who's
like 8 minutes before we went, hey, are y'all in?
Anybody wants to go, let's go.
Sitting on the patio.
But now, when you're an adult, you've got responsibilities, you've got jobs, you may have a family. You got to be intentional a little bit. You're tired. If you're too tired. I think the other thing is what we're trying to get is if your social life, your time with friends, better said, isn't really what you want.
Yeah.
Let's think about that. And what is getting in your way from maybe just turning that dial a little bit. So let's talk about some of those traps, Mark, that get in the way. So I'm gonna do one. And this is a big one. Waiting to be asked.
Oh, okay. Waiting for the invitation. And so you are, you've run, we were laughing about this on the phone, run into, you've seen this couple. Right.
Love them. Have a great time. They're so fun.
Yeah.
You see them and you say, we've got to get together. Let's do it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's figure something out. Great. Good to see you guys.
Yep.
3 months go by.
I know.
And you had said you had that happen.
Well, we did. We were actually out at a gathering, a bunch of friends. It was a wedding, and we met some dear friends. We, had the occasion to spend the evening with, and it's still on the radar. It's still on the radar. But we've been talking about it, and I know we're not solutioning yet, but the point on that one is waiting to be invited. Don't be the invitee, be the invitor.
That's the thing. Be the asker.
Yes.
And you have to understand you're putting yourself out there a little bit.
That's right.
And you might ask somebody and they might not be available.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I think so.
But if your goal is, I do want to get together with people a little bit more, then you got to be willing to be an asker and don't make it such a big deal.
Yeah, don't be precious about it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
One that comes to mind for me is I'm done meeting all the people that
you've already know everybody.
I know everybody. There's nobody else I need to know. But I think with that one, it's like, just like friendships, coupleships are like, your relationship that you have with, your person, and you got to keep it fresh. You got to do different things.
Well, question. If you're talking about that another trap of, I'm not that interested in meeting and doing stuff with new people. Is that because, and I mean just you, but just in general, we're tired. We don't have it takes more energy than I want to give, or I don't need to meet anybody new. What's keeping that?
Let's hang on this one for just a bit.
Yeah, let's do.
I think sometimes when you've met your people, then it can be scary meeting new people.
Yes.
Like you think that it's going to be great. Like just go back, like when you were in school, elementary school, and you met a new friend and they turned out to be a disaster, right? And you're like, oh, and now I can't get rid of them.
Yeah.
Right. So then
interesting.
As you get to be older and you have, your adult friendships, you're like, this is somebody new I'm meeting and we can't get rid of them.
Mark, you're kind of playing it forward, don't you think? You're kind of going from step 1 to maybe 72.
But I'm thinking that might be why people don't want to meet anybody new, because they're like, I can't want it.
Yeah, can't want it. It takes too much energy.
It takes too much energy. It could be a fail,
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be. It is funny. I don't know.
Like, I just want to keep it safe,
Keep it safe. And I think, I'm at that season in life where, when the kids were younger, oh my gosh, you have all these parents are other people are everywhere,
yes,
and they're just, there's no problem. There's a gathering, we're going with this family or there. But then as you get past, you get that empty nest, which we had a great episode kind of that talks about empty nest with Carrie Keogh. You need to listen to that about parenting everyone. Then you kind of get into that new chapter of you don't rely on, if you have kids, you don't rely on kids, or you don't, maybe when you were younger, that big social circle that then everybody scatters a little bit.
Yep.
So now your safety net. So that can happen where all of a sudden the safety nets were all there.
That's right.
You get to a certain point in life and then now you really have to work at it unless you want to be home all the time.
That's right.
And if you do, that's cool too.
You know what I think is also really great though is, and listeners, you may be out there, if you have a family that you're blessed that all of y'all are friends and you just love hanging out.
That is true.
That's awesome. Because that's like Insta friends, Insta family. It's all right there.
It's all right there. And it can keep you from,
branching out.
But it's to me, it's also recharging to meet new people, talk to new people.
It can
and
be.
I think the third trap I would mention is don't overthink it and make the bar so high. We're laughing about, medieval times. I think there's some things you can do if you're like, oh my gosh, asking somebody to do something just feels daunting. I do think, hey, you want to go to the baseball game?
Yeah.
You want to go? Now, to me, I'm be more likely to do that, probably.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to go with you if you ask me to go to meal times, I'd go, but you know what I mean? Find something. It just makes it so much simpler. I'm going to meet you there. We'll meet you there.
Yeah. I mean, also kind of know your audience.
Yeah.
Right? You might not be medieval times, tournament and games. You might not be. But, maybe you're a movie people.
Exactly. That's simple. That is an easy ask. There's a great movie coming out. We are so excited to see.
Yeah, let's go see it.
You might want to go with us. This is something we do, and I have friends who do this. My friend, I've mentioned Martha Easterhoff several times. She does this too. If you're kind of like, having people over for dinner, to me, can feel daunting. That can feel big.
It can.
And it can cause you from not only just the prep and making dinner, but you're like, I got the house ready and I can't spend all Saturday getting ready.
Right.
But one of the things that we do for a personal touch is, why don't you come by for drinks and apps, then we'll go to dinner.
Oh, that's nice.
It's super simple. You'll pull a cheese board out, a little glass of wine if you want, for like an hour or so.
I love a charcuterie board.
Me too.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any better in a charcuterie board.
I know, it's delightful. I love one.
But my point is if you want to do something that you feel like, I just want to have a little bit more of a personal touch.
Yeah. I like that. That is really,
it's a
really
great
good one.
Little combo to say.
It's like an adult pre-gaming.
It's pre-gaming, but it's not too much pressure. It's super simple. Have a bottle of wine and get some cheese.
You know what we've done actually is done the opposite. So you go and do the thing and then we come back for a little dessert.
That's another way to do it.
Or as we say in my family, dessert.
Yeah. See, that's another way to do it.
Yeah.
It's a simple way to have, host something, but it's not
but it's not as much pressure. I like that.
It's not too hard.
I don't talk. Here's another one. Before we, kind of keep moving into this topic. But I think I've told you this. I don't really ever talk about like introvert, extrovert. But what I talk about is where do you get your energy? Is it externally or internally? And so sometimes I think going back to finding your people, if you find, that other couple or, friends or friend group that y'all kind of have the same energy.
Yes.
That's a blessing.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
we all can sit in the same room and just watch TV, and just being around each other is the thing.
It's enough.
Or we got all kinds of energy. We're bouncing off the walls, and that works for us. But like sometimes people will say, oh, you know what? I'm not going to find my people. And, and this group over here is too much or that. Well, if you want to have that good social circle and that's important to you, then find your people. They're out there.
I know. And I think too, I don't know what my label is, because I like getting together with friends. We do vacations with people. We talked about that on our vacation episode.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the energy of having people over sometimes, all that. But I'm also, I think I get my energy. There's a time when I need some time for me.
Well,
I need some time by myself.
I like that.
Reading.
I like that too.
So if I might have had maybe Friday night we did this fun stuff. Maybe Saturday I'm going to want to do a little bit more low key.
Yeah.
So I think knowing, like you're saying, if you are an introvert, the other thing I wonder if you feel like I'm an introvert, but yet you don't do anything, and then I feel kind of isolated.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not doing this fun stuff.
It can happen. It can happen. And I think especially for people that are together, that one gets their energy externally and the other gets their energy internally. And then you try to figure out how to navigate that.
Yeah.
That, that can be kind of difficult for your social circle.
That person wants to go, they want to go do all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of, it seems like, but they feel this feels too slow.
Yeah. Yeah, that can be a thing too, where you're just like, hey, they're all going to go from here to here. And your other person's like, well, I'm ready to go from here to the bed.
Yeah.
And not for a good time either. I'm ready to go night. Right.
Well, let's talk about some other tips. Okay.
Yeah.
We got some other tips here.
Yeah.
Like I said, in terms of do what's fun and easy, I hate to bring it up.
Yeah.
Those of you that know Mark, this is going to be a hot button. I'm going to say it. If you, I'm going to give a little explanation. If you want to have some friends over, have everybody bring something. Now stop. We're not, I know how you feel about, I don't want to use the word potluck. I'm afraid it's going to give you a twitch.
I can't.
But
I can't want it.
I know you hate potlucks when you've got 60 people at work and they're all bringing something. But if hey, we have some other friends, I know that their cat is not stirring the pasta sauce, okay? So I don't worry about that. But
are you sure?
Yeah, I am sure.
Okay.
Have them bring something. And I think too, everybody always asks, what can I bring?
How about store-bought?
You can do store-bought. But let's don't act like we're at school and you can only bring store-bought.
Well,
because that's not going to go over
well. I mean, at the schools, they have it really easy because of the whole store-bought thing. So, I mean, you can get down, on a potluck at within the school systems and stuff in certain places.
You can do it. But I do think that's one thing I would say. If you're like, I kind of want to have people over, I'm intimidated to do all the hosting and stuff, that can really simplify.
Yeah.
Everybody, oh, sure. We're going to do the brisket. You can tell from Texas. Barbecue.
Right.
What would you guys like to bring? And they'll just jump in.
I just think what you can do is, for me, I have just learned to self-manage, and I'll just make sure I have a little ham sandwich in my grip, just in case we have to go to the potluck. So if you invite me to your house for a potluck and I excuse myself for a few minutes, just know I'm upstairs eating my ham sandwich and my Fritos. Now, then I'll come back down and I'll be ready to socialize.
I would distinguish between the big, you're doing a potluck with people you don't know. That's totally different from maybe it's 5 or 6 friends that are bringing something over. I think that's different.
Well, okay.
That's not a potluck. I would call potluck
that's a gathering of people bringing food.
Contributing.
Maybe that's how I get through it.
Yeah, I don't think. No, it's not potluck. It's not. Who are you? I don't know you. And what's
well, I mean,
on?
just think about the whole. I mean, we're going to get off this topic in a second here, but just think about the potluck. It's like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get
in there. Yeah, me too.
You don't know, so that's why they call it potluck.
Yeah, very careful what I get from them. I'm gonna get probably some cheese and some packaged crackers or something
that
like that.
would be a blessing if I invite you over.
But the point,
buy that from the K. Roger.
Yes. But the point, I think, for y'all, find a way to make it. Order pizza. Come on over.
Excellent.
I've got some beer, wine, and Coke. And come have some pizza.
Right.
That'll do it.
I love it.
Also, I think, don't think you need to be like this big pre-planner. I talk about college and how you just walk down the hall.
Yeah.
I think like in our neighborhood, we've been surprised a lot of times, kind of the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday night, somebody says, who's in town around on Saturday night and wants to, come over for burgers?
Yeah.
A lot of times
that's nice.
We'll get a better turnout than if you a month in advance.
Yeah.
Who's available on June 17th?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We might not be back. Oh, we might have family in town.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes last minute, don't think last minute means
right.
that you can't do it.
Right.
Yes.
One thing I also want to bring up is that we haven't said yet is that I like in your social groupings, I like, if you're, with someone else, you have a partner, a spouse, significant other in your life, do things together and then have your separate things.
Yes. Separate things too.
That's really important. I think for a healthy relationship.
Definitely.
Kind of having that, I got my outlet and I got, my dudes, my ladies, my whoever, that I hang out with.
That's really important.
Fun,
I think that's really important.
And can help with that variety and getting out to see different people.
I love that. You don't think, and to me, you don't want it to be too one way or the other. Like, well, I never go see my girlfriends.
Correct.
Gosh, me and my significant other, in my case, my husband, gosh, we haven't been out to dinner or done anything. You don't want that either.
No.
So you gotta have that good balance. I also think like, Ina Garten.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Ina says
What'd
the
she
right
say?
mix. If you're going to have people over, it's 3 couples in total. That's the right mix for conversation together around a table. And Ina, if you haven't read her book, it's so good.
Yeah. Is it Ina or Ina?
I think it might be Ina.
I don't know. It's just INA. It's just three letters.
I think I'm saying it wrong.
Well,
I think I am.
You know
I'll be
what?
corrected, I'm sure.
I'm going to match your energy, Ina.
Ina. I think it is Ina. Now that they say that.
Well,
Ina. It is Ina.
I've heard her say that. Mm-hmm. And I like that she says it with such confidence. She says, no more than 3 couples. And what's her husband? Jeffrey. She's always cooking for Jeffrey.
Her book is incredible. I love her life story. I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah. Well,
I'm a fan of hers. If I wouldn't know how to say her name. But I do think she doesn't say you can't have more than that. She says for good conversation, that's the right number of people. Now,
I like that. So is it like she's hosting and then there's 2 other couples?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And of course, let's talk about her. She's making this gourmet dinner,
I'm
not ever doing that.
She's out in the garden. She's pulling something to make a little tablescape thing, and she's doing all the things.
I made homemade lasagna last weekend. I thought I needed a trophy because I spent like 3 or 4 hours on it. I was like, I kept. Did everybody like the lasagna?
That's good. Did they like it?
They did. Wasn't that good?
Was it delicious?
No, I sat down. The first thing I said, I said, and I just want to make sure this is not Stouffer's.
Oh,
so I was kind of setting the stage for some compliments.
This is scratch.
This is what we call from scratch. What my mom would have said. This is from scratch.
From scratch.
This is from scratch.
I made spaghetti from scratch.
Really? Did you make your own sauce?
No, I did not.
You dumped it in there.
I dumped it in.
Okay.
It's my dad makes his own sauce.
See, I don't really do
He gets those tomatoes and he does it.
He will do the
next
thing. Level. That's next level.
Well, that's what he does. In fact, he was just talking to me about it the other day.
That's next level. That's great.
Well,
let's talk about a few other little tips. I do think if you are going to have people over, this is something I think sometimes people will have people over and then they get so uncomfortable or it doesn't go well and they don't want to do it again.
Yeah.
So by the way, y'all, I am not the hostess person, but we do have people over some and I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But I will say you don't want to, on one end, you don't want to be like, okay, from 6 to 6:30, we're going to have cheese board. From 6:30 to 7, you're going to walk in the backyard and you're going to have a cocktail. Don't do that. But I do think having a little flow in your mind of how it's going to go. Are you going to have, if dinner's not going to be there for an hour and a half, you better have some nibbles out.
You need to have a little nosh.
You know how people stand in the kitchen? That's their sign.
Hovering.
That's like Thanksgiving morning. I'll be like, okay, guys, out. It's not time. It's another hour. If you're hungry, go get something. You know, it's like that. You got to have a little bit of thought on the flow.
I think being a good host is being gracious. You know,
make people feel comfortable.
And make people feel comfortable. And I think if you listen to any of the influencers or, you know, any of the party event planners, they'll always tell you, create, you know, a welcoming, warm space.
You gotta have a little music. You have to have music. Music makes all the difference.
Music that meets the mood. You know?
You got to have a little bit of music.
Yeah.
You know, also, you want a night killer. Stand up and start putting the dish. Well, no, it depends on the people. Make karaoke might be fun. Start putting dishes in the dishwasher. Party's over. Boom. You're out of here, babe.
Is that
See,
the
it's
signal?
been fun.
Is that the signal?
Don't do that. If you just go over and start rinsing and putting load in the dishwasher, and you're not talking to your guests,
flipping off lights.
Well, about time to wrap it up.
Really enjoyed y'all.
It's been fun. Yeah.
Anybody got to go to church tomorrow?
Yeah, you're like 9:30 on a Saturday night. Who's going to be at early service in the morning?
Isn't Jim going to get the donuts in the morning? Got to get up early.
I mean, it sounds, we were laughing, but those are like,
those are the
they
cues.
Are like buzz killers. You're going to be like,
it goes the other way
this is
too.
No fun.
It goes the other way too, because we used to know a couple long time ago that we, you know, loved to hang out with them, and they would come over and then
never leave.
Well, they just would never leave.
Oh no!
I mean, I got to the point. This is so bad.
You were turning off a lot.
I got to the point where I would just tip out. Like I would just be like, you know, finger up, you know, and I would just walk out and then never come back because I would just be in the biscuit. I would get in the bed.
Tired.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Hopefully that doesn't happen too often. But
Shelly used to get pissed because she would be like, oh, he's coming back.
And then leaves her to be the one to say, well, you guys.
But
it's been so fun.
Hard.
Or I'm going to run on to bed. You guys turn the lights out when you leave.
Put on the alarm when you head out. Just make sure it's 60 seconds. Just head on out.
You don't want to do it. But to me, we're talking about those little things that hopefully will make you just a little more comfortable. Yeah. I think that we're kind of talking about,
your social life and gathering and what makes it fun and how to bring energy back into it. We've been talking about things in the home. One of the things that, I have on the plate is we have been going to different concerts.
I love that.
And I know
That's
you
variety.
and Jim, you and Jim do that. Y'all go to different concerts together. Who did you go see in Red Rock?
Oh, we saw James Taylor, and then we went to the Sphere recently and saw The Wizard of Oz. Highly recommend it.
Really?
It's incredible. Yeah, the tornado is blowing through the place.
Wow.
Apples falling from the ceiling.
What?
It's incredible. Not real apples.
Oh,
but
okay. I was like,
don't
wow.
worry. You're like, oh,
like a little snack in the middle.
Not a snack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I like that. And so, we listen to a lot of different music, R&B, 70s, 80s,
Who are you gonna go see?
2000s. We're actually going to see Harry Styles in August.
You're going to New York?
We're going to New York. Madison Square.
MSG.
Yes.
I am so
going to do that. We wanted to go see him kind of right after the pandemic, but we just didn't get it together. But I think going and doing things like that, as a couple, but then with others, have, some similar music interest, and y'all like to go do that and do a little pregame like we talked about and then head on over.
See, I love that. And I think you're bringing up the kind of the variety of, I think the point we're trying to say is if your time with friends, if you're out of the time you're not working and doing responsible things, is make sure you haven't settled into a rut or routine that you didn't intend for yourself.
I think that that's right. In fact, as we've been having this conversation, I'm more and more energized by the fact that it's that fellowship. It's the connectedness. And we're talking about friends, but like I said, it could be family. You could have that family that we're the party, right?
Yeah.
When we get together, we're the party. It's family that you choose.
Yes,
and that's awesome. But we're talking about how do you bring that energy in, and we've talked about gatherings, and we've pulled some of our own host and social tips,
a few little
together.
Tips, like
tips.
we're hosting experts.
That's
but
right.
Yeah, we're really not.
But we do a little something.
We do a little something. So as we're wrapping this up, what tips?
Yeah.
That would you say that just you think is the most important takeaway from this conversation? It could be something we've mentioned or something maybe that you're thinking about that we haven't.
I think it is kind of what we've said in another episode. Like, it's never too late. And I'm just gonna use the slogan, just do it.
Yeah.
The Nike slogan, just do it. I think that there's always going to be something, right? So
always.
Just figure out how to, whatever the idea is, maybe you pull it back. If it's heavy lifting, pull it back just a bit, and then just do a percentage of it. Just get out there.
Get out there a little bit.
What about you?
I think it's just pausing to think what's really fun and ask yourself the question. If it's been a while since you've asked yourself that question, it's time to do it, because we all, when you get into adulting and a lot of responsibilities, that can just suck the life out of you. And all that social, do stuff with friends can just go way down the list. And so that can be an important part of taking care of yourself, having time with friends and doing fun stuff.
I have a smart tip.
What is it?
The smart tip is we are social people. We're social beings.
We are.
And so it's important for us to gather.
It is.
And to have that energy and to I'll go back to it, fellowship.
Yeah, I agree. And I think know what that energy looks like. What is your version of fellowship? Don't settle into something that like, how do we end up, by ourselves at home every weekend? We never do anything with friends. We want to, but we just never quite do it. So we're encouraging you, think about what that looks like. Get out there, take some baby steps.
I thought you were going to say make some babies.
Well, no, I wasn't going to say that because that's a whole different kind of social life. But I was going to say, just take some baby steps and ask somebody to go do something. Make it simple and get out there and have fun outside of work and obligations.
Love it.
And all that.
Love it. Because there's a lot we're tired of. So let's fix it.
Absolutely. So, Mark, how do people find us, listen to us?
Oh, listen. We love hearing from you. And you can find us, first of all, on Instagram. Aren't You Tired Of? That's YA. Aren't You Tired Of _social on Instagram. You can listen to us on Apple or Spotify, coming soon on other platforms.
Yeah. Subscribe, please. Yes.
Please subscribe and share. We'd love for you to share. If this is something that you have people in your life that, you want to get together, maybe with that friend group, send this to them. Y'all listen to it and think about what you want to do.
Create a supper club.
Yeah, there you go. Supper club. Love it.
Supper club group.
Love it.
Group text. Okay. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
Y'all, it's been so much fun having this conversation with this. I won't say normally we say have a great week. Now we'll say have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Plan something fun this weekend.
Plan something fun this weekend. I love it.
Y'all have fun. See you all
Take care.
soon. Bye.